Stephen King's horror novel series is regarded as one of the most traumatic, spine-chilling horror thrillers that have been adapted into the famous It movie saga. The first It movie was released in 2017, and the second installment hit the theaters 2 years later, in 2019. After the success attained by both the franchise, it is now decided to explore the story of the mysterious, freaky city of Derry yet again by releasing the prequel series It, Welcome to Derry. For those of you who would have been diligently following the It lore, they would be aware of the story and one of the prominent characters, Mike Hanlon. Mike was among those few people who decided to stay in the city, even after his encounter with the evil Pennywise, who haunted the town. He was also the one who had called back his friends, the former members of the Losers Club, to return back to the city 27 years after Pennywise had returned and had begun his hauntings yet again. Today, in our Marvellous video series, we're going to be elaborating and discussing about him, his family tree, his story explored across different media and time phases. So without further delay, let us now begin our video explanation. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
It's not real! This isn't real! It's not real!
Introduction about the character. Mike Hanlon is one of the most prominent yet the least talked about characters in the It lore, be that the two It movies and the novel. Unlike his other friends, Bill, Beverly, Ben, Richie, Eddie, and Stanley, who after some years slowly started departing from the city and began settling in other places to lead a better life, Mike stayed back. His quest to explore the lore and the evil in the city prompted him to become a historian and a memory keeper. As the only black member of the group, Mike often had to face undue prejudice from Henry Bowers, the school bully. Mike's mother was a devoted Baptist, and because of that, he began his education as a student. After this apocalyptic rock fight, Mike becomes the member of Losers Club that gave the club a lucky number 7. His observant skills and curiosity had led him to help and guide his friends in their quest for uncovering the ancient ritual that helped them to subdue Pennywise and his evil intention. Despite his childhood trauma, loss of his parents, Mike had very bravely overcome all his fears and hesitation and ultimately gathered the courage to challenge and defeat Pennywise, along with his friend. Mike brought his father's photo album to the Barrens and showed the group that a mysterious clown appeared in several old pictures of Derry, some dating back over a century. Later, when the losers gathered in their clubhouse to attempt an ancient Native American ritual meant to reveal the truth about it, Mike and Richie experienced a vision of the creature's arrival, witnessing it crashing to Earth from the depths of space in a distant, prehistoric time.
Look at me, son. Look at me!
Family history. Mike's birthday varies according to sources. According to Stephen King's novel, Mike is 11 years old and was born in 1946, following from the miniseries. He was born in 1948, and in both the movies, he's born on July 3, 1976. In the first 2017 movie, he's 13 years old. And in Chapter 2 that came in the 2019 movie, he's 40 years old. Talking about his parents, his father was Will Hanlon, who was an Army veteran who had served in the Derry Army Corps base in the early 1930s and later retired from the Army in 1937. Post his disability after a defective grenade that injured his foot partially. After his retirement, he returned back to Derry and became a farmer and also became an amateur historian collecting old newspaper clippings about the secrets of Derry. He then died of cancer in 1962. But this is in accordance with Stephen King's novel. The movie version is different, where Mike's parents died in a tragic house fire. Mike's mother is Jessica Hanlon, who married William in Galveston after she met him at Fort Hood, where William was stationed post the fire at the Black Spot. But apart from his parents, his grandfather, Leroy Hanlon, has been the most important person in his life. Post his parents' death, Mike's grandfather had been the one taking care of him. As Mike grew up, he embodied his grandfather's courage, resilience, integrity, and compassion. The background story of his grandfather, just like other characters, varies as per different sources. In the upcoming prequel HBO series, Welcome to Derry, his grandfather has been shown as a World War II veteran who was appointed as a major during the Korean War. After the war ended, his grandfather got back to Derry, where he slowly started witnessing incidents of violence and decided to dig into its root cause. He soon realized that these patterns of violence mostly were followed after a strange and eerie clown-like figure was seen walking through the city. It was indeed Major Hanlon's research and discoveries that prompted Mike to take up the role as the city historian and further his grandfather's groundwork.
I have to get close enough to see my face. I don't know.
Mike's story in the novel. In Stephen King's novel It, Mike's story is explored as a child where he had constantly been bullied and victimized because of his race. His parents and grandfather had been one of the oldest residents of the city of Derry, and for years endured racism and discrimination. The racist history of the city had even plagued Mike, especially after the horrific black spot incident, where after being negatively influenced and persuaded by Pennywise, a group of white men in the city had put the all-exclusive club run by black soldiers called Black Spot on fire in 1950. Mike's life in Derry, too, was filled with constant discrimination and bullying as the only black child in the city. But in the year 1958, a lot changed when he met his friends at the Losers Club and became their 7th member, thus embarking on the adventure to unlock the truth behind the mysterious origins of Pennywise. As he carries on his historical research of the city, he discovers through one of the old albums that Pennywise had been seen in the pictures dating back to a century ago. His origin was then traced back to a cosmic spaceship that had crashed on Earth. Mike stayed in Derry while being the town historian and librarian in Derry. He went on to safely collect and preserve all the evidence and manuscripts about the same. He's the one who sends all his friends, the members of the Losers Club, to return back to the city and honor their blood oath once the murders in the city had begun again. Mike's story in It Chapter 1. In the It Chapter 1, Mike's story is shown from the year 1989, when he was a 12-year-old kid and was living with his grandfather and taking care of the Leroy farm after his parents had died in a fire. However, the town people bully him by falsely accusing his parents of having died of drug overdose. He's deeply traumatized by his past, because his last memories of his parents are when he tried to save him while dying in the fire. While being haunted by his fears, he's unable to help his grandfather while slaughtering sheep at their farm. Even though he doesn't like the farm work, his grandfather insists on him getting used to this, as after he is gone, it would be Mike who would be required to take care of the farm. He thus, even against his will, goes for delivering meat to the resident. On one such delivery day, he crosses his path with Henry Bowers and his other hideous friends, who begin hurling slurs at him and chasing him. As he tries to run away from them, Mike ends up at a barren bridge, and there he sees Pennywise waving at him from far apart with Eddie's arm. After some time, the losers arrive at the scene, and all of them become friends. Mike then narrates the legend of Derry and how the city had been haunted by Pennywise, as his grandfather had told him. He tells the group that according to his grandfather, the city has been suffering from all the unfortunate events because of Pennywise's curse. Mike insists that since he has been in the city for the longest time, he should fight Pennywise all by himself. But when Beverly gets kidnapped, he decides to club with his friends and save her. He's also the one who secures a bolt gun that would be used in the final confrontation with the evil.
Keep turning! Turn like a duck! Not my own way!
Mike's story in It Chapter 2. After a 27-year hiatus, Pennywise resumes his haunting and takes one innocent child as his victim. When Mike, who was the only one who stayed back in Derry, gets to know about this, he sends all the other 6 members of the Losers Club a letter asking them to come back, as it's finally time to face the devil again. Mike had spent all his youth extensively studying the history of the city and the origin of Pennywise, so as to come up with an effective plan to subdue him completely, this time once and for all. He has also found out a way, an ancient ritual through which he learned from the Native American, who had already defeated and trapped Pennywise earlier and then killed him. Mike tells his friends that the tribe had performed the ritual of Chud and how they would be able to kill him again. However, he purposely does not tell his friends the consequences the ritual's performance had on the tribal native people, because he believes that might scare them, and there's a possibility the ritual might not be successful. After defeating it, as the losers all remember each other, he keeps in contact, having spent his entire life in Derry and no longer having a reason to remain. Mike decides to leave the town and start a new life elsewhere, presumably Florida.
Would have to get close enough to see my face. I don't know.
Mike's story in the prequel. Welcome to Derry. The story in Welcome to Derry begins in 1962. 27 years before Pennywise decides to strike again. It follows Mike's journey from childhood to his role as the librarian and city historian. The narrative explores Mike's past and his family's history, detailing how they first arrived in Derry and became embroiled in the city's dark secrets, which soon became impossible to ignore. The series will also delve into the infamous Black Spot event, a pivotal moment in Mike and his family's lives. Additionally, Mike's backstory will be examined, shedding light on the experiences of his ancestors and how the Hanlons were influenced by both Derry and Pennywise's malevolent cycles, which continued to affect Mike in adulthood. The prequel series will present Derry's tale in multiple phases, further expanding on the horror and mythos that have plagued the city for centuries.
It's not real! This isn't real! It's not real!
Marvellous verdict. Whether you've already watched the It movies or read the novels or not, Welcome to Derry would be a good starting point to give you all the requisite insights about the It lore and develop your interest regarding the same. It's physiologically terrifying, and once a horror story involves children, it becomes even more spine-chilling and traumatic. So that's it for our video today. Hope you liked all the information brought to you regarding Mike and his story in the It lore. Do let us know in the comments sections if you liked our explanation or not, and share your reviews about the prequel. We will soon see you in the next Marvellous video. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks, everyone.